So tonight, we'll refer to him as Sleepy Joe, because right now, as you know, it's been reported that right now Crooked Joe's gone to a log cabin to study, prepare. No, he didn't. He's sleeping now, because they want to get him good and strong, so a little before debate time, he gets a shot in the ass, and they want to strengthen him up. So he comes out, he'll come out, I say he'll come out all jacked up, right? All jacked up. Will anybody be watching the debate on Thursday night? I'm shocked. No, I'm shocked. How should I handle him? Should I be tough and nasty? Or should I be, she say no, should I be tough and nasty and just say you're the worst president in history? Or should I be nice and calm and let him speak? 50. Be tough. Be tough. On day one, I will seal the border, stop the invasion, and send Joe Biden's illegal aliens the hell back home. I will also take immediate action to restore prosperity to every part of our land. When I left office, inflation was practically nothing. During my term, we had gasoline down to $1.87 a gallon, and at some points, even less than that. And the 30-year mortgage rate was 2.7%. We had the safest border. All he has to do is say, close the border. And it's closed. That's all you have to say. He doesn't need anything from Congress. No tax on tips, okay? It's done. Done. And we need to spread the word so that every time you leave a tip for the next 5 months, you put on the receipt, vote for Trump because there's no tax on tips. I will also take historic action to defeat the poison of left-wing gender ideology and restore the timeless truth that God created two genders, male and female. And I will shut down the Federal Department of Education, and we will move everything back to the states where it belongs and where they can individualize education and do it with the love for their children. We need Christian voters to turn out in the largest numbers ever to tell Crooked Joe Biden, Joe, the apprentice, Joe, you're fired. You're fired, Joe. Get out of here, Joe. You're no good. You've been the worst president ever. You're fired, Joe. Get out. Franklin wrote me a letter the other day. I watched your rally. I thought it was great. But honestly, Mr. President, it would have been much better if you didn't use foul language. And I said to myself, he's wrong about that, because sometimes for emphasis, I don't use real foul, but every once in a while I'll use a little word here or there, and not a particularly bad one. But I said to myself, I'm going to do it because I like him a lot. But he said, it's great, your stories are great, but you don't have to use. But sometimes there's no word that can describe it, right? I'm looking for a word, like when somebody tells tall tales, there's a certain word that starts with B, right? There's no word that I can find to replace, right? But I'm trying, Franklin. I'm trying. Look, inflation, this is what it does to you. This is tic-tac now. This is tic-tac. Let's go. See? Look. It used to be that. I agreed to do a debate with Crooked Joe Biden on CNN with Fake Tapper, and I think they'll be fair. Does anybody think they'll be fair? I might be. No. That's all right. When they said, here's your story, you can have a debate on CNN with Fake Tapper as the primary host, and I said, I'll do it, because what they thought is you'd say CNN, and they'd say various people on the show, various anchors, and headed up by fake Tapper. And they thought I was going to reject it. I don't want to do it. Then Biden would say, I offered to debate, but he wouldn't do it. So they said, we want to have a debate. I'll take it. Well, we haven't even told you what the debate is all about. Then they said, today, they said, we'd like to set up tables so you sit down. I said, I don't want to sit down for a debate. Let's go. At some point, so we're not sitting down. We're going to be standing up for the debate. Oops, I shouldn't say that I'm doing a debate for them. They'll be slightly tougher. No, I have fake Tapper as the, they said, I just want to debate this guy, but, you know, and I'm going to demand a drug test, too, by the way. I am. No, I really am. I don't want him coming in like the State of the Union. He was high as a kite. I said, is that Joe up there? A beautiful robe? And by the end of the evening, he's like, well, he was exhausted, right? No, we're going to demand a drug test. But fake Tapper and these people, they're going to be fine. They're going to be fair. I think they're going to be fair. And if they're not, you know, you have to deal with it, right? You have to deal with it.
Look, I think the debate is going to be a challenge because Donald Trump isn't walking in there and debating Joe Biden. Donald Trump is going to be out there trying to argue against Jake Tapper and Dana Bash, who have made it very clear that they do not like Donald Trump, and their goal is going to be to trip him up. And so he has to be prepared to go up against them. They're not going to push on Joe Biden. They're not going to make this challenging for Joe Biden. They're the communications arm for Joe Biden. They're going to try to prop him up. It's not a fair debate, but I do think that Donald Trump is going to go in there prepared. He's going to be ready. This is his area of expertise, going up against the media. So he is going to come off that stage, and he is going to have won this debate. We'll see how Joe Biden fares and how the Democrats try to spin it.
We thought it was fair game to bring up past statements that Jake Tapper especially has made about Donald Trump in the past. For instance, after Joe Biden was installed in the White House, Jake Tapper said that the long national nightmare of Donald Trump's presidency has finally come to an end. Jake Tapper was one of the lead voices pushing the Russia hoax, which we always knew it all along, but CNN has been forced to admit that was manufactured by Hillary Clinton and the Democrats. Jake Tapper allowed Joe Biden to lie on CNN years ago, and I wanted to bring this up this morning, but time didn't allow. I hope CNN will ask Joe Biden if he wants to correct himself when he said on CNN 4 years ago that the Hunter Biden laptop was disinformation. Jake Tapper allowed him to spew this lie. Jake Tapper has pushed the Charlottesville hoax lie that they've been ramming against President Trump for years. He also has frequently compared President Trump to Hitler. So this is a guy who has clearly made his opinions about President Trump known. It's not me making that up. This is who he is. He's an anti-Trump leftist who's a former Democrat staffer, yet he's given the privilege of hosting this debate. And so I thought it was worthy bringing those comments up. Clearly, CNN doesn't want their audience to know the truth about fake Tapper. They want people to believe they're truly the most trusted name in news, yet they can't even handle a spokesperson for the leading candidate in this race, bringing up facts and truths about what one of their debate moderators have said.
This is a tough business to run for president.
I know. You're a tough guy, Jeb.
And we need to have a leader that is principled. You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to the presidency.
Let's see. I'm at 42 and you're at 3. So
far
I'm doing better.
Doesn't matter.
So far I'm doing better. You know, you started off over here, Jeb. You're moving over further and further. Pretty soon you're going to be off the end.
This doesn't do a...
Here's a guy that buys a house for $179,000. He sells it to a lobbyist who's probably here for $380,000, and then legislation is passed. You tell me about this guy.
And he's had the gall to go after
the World
my
Trade
mother.
Center came
he's
down
had
during
the gall
your brother's
to go after
reign.
my mother.
Remember that.
Hold on. Let me finish this. He's had the gall to go after my mother.
That's not keeping
Look, I
us
won
safe.
the lottery when I was born 63 years ago and looked up and I saw my mom. My mom is the strongest woman I know.
She should
this
be
is
running.
not about my...
Take 30 seconds,
let me just, he wants to be a tough guy. A lot of times, you'll have, and it doesn't work very well with
How tough is it to take property from an elderly woman?
Let me talk. Quiet.
How tough is it?
A lot of times, that's all of his donors and special interests out there. So, that's what it is. And by the way, let me just tell you, we needed tickets. You can't get them. You know who has the tickets I'm talking about to the television audience? Donors, special interests, the people that are putting up the money. So it is. The RNC told us we have all donors in the audience, and the reason they're not loving me, the reason they're not, excuse me, The reason they're not loving me is I don't want their money. I'm going to do the right thing for the American public. I don't want their money. I don't need their money. And I'm the only one up here that can say that.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't.
We will beat the Democrats. We will rout the fake news media. We will expose and appropriately deal with the rhinos. We will evict Joe Biden from the White House. And we will liberate America from these villains and scoundrels once and for all. We had a Republican Party that was ruled by freaks, neocons, globalists, open border zealots, and fools. But we are never going back to the party of Paul Ryan, Karl Rove, and Jeb Bush. And then remember when Biden? I'd like to take him to the back of the barn. I dream of that. You know what I do with him? Oh, I dream of it. I'd hit him right in that fake nose. That fake nose. They'd have plastic lying all over the floor. But I don't want to say that. So when he says it, they say, oh, he said. Remember when he was doing that? I'd like to take him to the back of the barn. You know what you do with him? You just look at him and you go like this. Or find his way off a stage. He can't find his way off a stage. You ever see that? Makes a speech, if you call it that. Okay, thank you. And they're screaming at him. They're saying, no, you got there, you got... And then he can make a bad speech, but you got to be able to see, you know, you came in here, I can even go out there, I see there's an exit there, exit here, you got exits all over. I just feel like a young man. I'm so young. I can't believe it. I'm the youngest person. I am a young, vibrant man. I look at Joe. I don't know about him. I don't know.
Donald Trump.
And I think you all have called this the cheap fakes video, and that's exactly what they are. They are cheap fakes video. They are done in bad faith, and some of your news organization have been very clear, have stressed that these the right-wing critics of the president have a credibility problem because of the fact checkers have repeatedly caught them pushing misinformation, disinformation.
Well, maybe choose my words. There's some movement. There's been a response from there's been a response from the opposition, but yes, I'm sorry, from Hamas. And there's a lot of other, for example, the idea that we're, in terms of taxes, that they refuse to. For example, I was able to balance the budget and pass everything from the global warming bill. Anyway, I was able to cut by $1.7 billion in the first 2 years the deficit that we were accumulating. And because I was able to say to it that the 55 corporations in America that made $400 billion that they pay zero in tax. Zero. The beer brewed here, it is used to make the brew beer in this refinery. Oh, Earth Rider, thanks for the Great Lakes. I wonder why it's that. I guess I should clear my mind here a little bit and not say what I'm really thinking. I'm not introducing me, Mark is. So thank you all. God bless you all. Let's go lick the world. Let's get it done. But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed. Have a good time. Thank you for your service from the bottom of my heart. Really. Happy Thanksgiving. See you all. Oh. Who am I giving this to? The great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J. You could say even this harder than getting a ticket to the Renaissance tour or Britney's tour. She's down in, it's kind of warm in Brazil right now. And by the way, with other movies and movies she's earned a Golden Globe and a Primetime Enemy. That's me.
Thank you, everybody. This ends the press conference. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Are you ready? USA.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Valen. Happy birthday to you. Instead of cutting them, or like Congressman Trump and Bo want to do. President Harris is there to make sure we do this the right way. Leading tech companies like Anthropic, and I'm going to mispronounce. I'm not going to even try. More than half the women in my cabinet, more than half the people in my cabinet, more than half the women in my administration are women. 68 times, 68 hours, 68 times, more than 68 hours. To keep alive the truth and honor of the Holocaust, horror of the Holocaust, honor those we lost. Every once in a while I make a mistake, not like once a speech, but at any rate, years ago when I started talking to for this job, I said, please take your seats. There weren't any seats, everyone was standing, there were no chairs. Please tell us by going to report fraud, dotftc.gov. My message to fraudsters looking to cheat the American people is don't do it. We have fewer democracies in the world today than we did 15 years ago. Fewer, not more, fewer. Because of the actions we've taken, things have begun to change. End of quote. In the past 3 weeks.
How do you realistically and physically keep these families from coming to the U.S. when things will not get better in their countries right away?
I can't guarantee that, but I know, that old thing, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step.